Okay, time to turn up the temperature. The panel is in. Well, they're not in, but they're on. Let's welcome New South Wales Senator Holly Hughes, commentator and businesswoman Prue MacSween, and the broker of power, still in the ALP, Graham Richardson. Welcome, team.
Nice to see you back, Smithy.
Hi, guys.
How are you enjoying lockdown, Richo?
Well, I'm not, as one of the world's great lunches, I'm obviously finding this a bit tough. I'm accustomed to going out to lunch, and I'm having lunch in. I mean, the old sandwich might satisfy some, but it's not really satisfying for me.
Ladies?
Oh, is it nearly over?
Oh, come on, it's only been a week.
That's enough. That is enough. Try doing it with 3 kids during school holidays.
So, Prue, are Sydney-siders too arrogant and brash to lock down?
You know, it's interesting because having been in isolation, this is my 12th day, and I'm just like, kid peering out the glass, looking at people enjoying the sunshine. And I actually have been quite frustrated when I've actually gone down. The only time I'm allowed out is to go down to get my COVID test, and it's in Bondi. And you see these hundreds of people who are not social distancing at all. And I actually felt a bit angry because I thought, wow, if you knew what it's like to be isolated and made to be in lockdown and indoors for 12 or 14 days, you wouldn't be so, lackadaisical about it. So, look, I get why they do it. We've been very lucky. We are now experiencing a semi-crisis. We have a particular worry in the West, and I think the government needs to make sure that they're communicating people in different languages, because they just don't speak English very well over there and understand it. So I think that's really important. But yeah, I guess we are a little bit more arrogant about it because we have got such a great system, and I've experienced that system, and they're really very fussy and particular and very caring about looking after you if you've got, any contact issues.
Holly, in terms of mask wearers, what do you think the ratio is now?
Well, I have been sticking around sort of where I live in the east, and it's been pretty good around here. I mean, yeah, there's lots of people outside. My son has exercise physiology once a week, and we had to take it outside to the park because we weren't allowed into the gym studio area. And there were lots and lots of people down around the harbour and at the park. But there was a lot of mask wearing even outside, which I must admit, I find a little bit bizarre. Yeah. But certainly around my local area, I've seen the vast majority of people wearing masks when they've been indoors. Certainly people are outside. The weather was beautiful on the weekend, but we heard even from the New South Wales Health Minister today that you are very unlikely to catch the virus in an outdoor setting. And, we looked at the parliamentary setting where poor Prue's now in isolation because of that. And not one person has been infected from Minister Adam Marshall. So, that's a pretty good outcome when you think about the panic that was originally instilled in everyone around this Delta variety. But I think Sydney-siders too. I got my second Pfizer shot this week. There was no special treatment. I realise, everyone likes to think that's what happens with politicians and give us a bit of a whack. But I just registered like everybody else did when Gladys opened it up to the 40 to 49s. And it was all incredibly smooth sailing and easily done. So the message is still needing to get out there. I don't think it's the challenge of getting vaccinated. There's just some people that don't seem to be going out and getting it, which is really at this stage of the game inexcusable. Inexcusable.
Richo, what did you make of that National Cabinet 4-stage plan? I made the point at the start of the show, I wish the chief health officers from every state and territory were there to sign off on it as well. Will it happen? What will be the vaccination threshold? When will it happen? What do you make of what we saw?
Well, I mean, who knows? You're in uncharted territory. Anyone who answers that question with a definite number just is making it up, because I haven't got a clue, and neither do you. So we'll wait and see. I'm anxiously awaiting it. But I'm sitting here in the home and the fortress out here at Dover Heights, repelling all borders. And at this stage of the game, I seem to be okay.
You look fine. Prue MacSween, the ABC, some of them have been told that they may have to go out to Parramatta in Sydney's west which will be a shock to the ABC inner city lovies. They may have to deal with Middle Australia. But there was a suggestion today that Parramatta isn't far enough. And when you think about it, the demographic centre of Sydney is west of Parramatta. So they're suggesting they need to go further west, southwest to Liverpool. Would you like to see that?
I'd like to see them go to the back of Bourke, really, Smithy. But, the point is, it doesn't matter where they're located. It's the culture inside. You've still got these elitist wankers who are so out of touch, and just because they happen to be able to go out and get a salami sandwich easier, it's not going to make a damn difference. The whole culture of the joint has to be changed. It's all geography. It's not going to make any difference to what comes out of the ABC, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Holly, I guess it's about the geography of lived experiences. It would be healthy for a national broadcaster trying to represent the feelings and intentions and subjects that are spoken about within Middle Australia to be in Middle Australia.
Yeah, well, to experience some of Sydney's peak hour traffic as they're heading out there rather than popping off Central Station.
Yeah.
Might be a new experience for a few of them. But, it's up to the board, this issue, as opposed to the government. But it's also about bang for taxpayers' buck. That space in Ultimo would not, it's a pretty good piece of real estate. And if they're looking at expanding, and the ABC, if you look at the technology they have versus some of the commercial networks, they're certainly not struggling. And I think, if they can get better bang for their buck out at Liverpool, they can go to Costco, see how the other half live.
That's right.
And, really start to experience some of those things that the rest of us have done. I'm a big fan of the Costco shop.
Yeah, Auburn Costco is now a health alert location as well, so just forget it.
Oh, good, excellent.
Yeah. One last topic, and I want to get all your opinions on this. In the Ukraine, there's a fierce debate about women's footwear in the military. Now, this week the girls were forced to march, would you believe, in high heels. Feminists have hit the roof. This is an outrage. But, Richo, I don't know whether here's a photo here. I think they look rather good. What do you think?
I'm a bit intrigued as to what some of the socks under the heels are.
Richo?
The women look rather good. I don't know about the shoes, but the women look all right.
Oh, yeah, the women
Typical blokes.
Come on. Prue, you wouldn't march in a pair of high heels, I know, but
that's all blokes look at.
I know you do, you dirty buggers. When you look at those shoes, they're bloody ugly anyway, but how impractical is it? When you look at female flight attendants, you think, I wouldn't want them in an emergency to be in bloody high heels. What good are they going to be? It's such a chauvinistic sort of place, that Ukraine anyway, that it's all about, just like Richo, how your girls look.
Hang on. The Defence Minister there has now promised, this is in late breaking news, has now promised to provide safer, more ergonomic shoes next time at the next official function. He should stop pussyfooting around, shouldn't he, Holly?
Look, I wear a pair of shoes by a company called Baird. It's an Australian company, and they're designed by a podiatrist. And I can tell you, as Rich, I would remember, when you're having to do those quick dashes for the bells getting into the Senate chamber, I learned very quickly that a stiletto was not a very sensible choice of footwear for Parliament. But I did think that those pants as well looked like they were quite slimmed down for army pants. They tend to usually have a little more girth in them and a little more fabric. So perhaps it's not just the pants.
It's the uniform.
They're fashionista-ing up.
I love it.
They need to get some drag queens into them, because they can wear stilettos better than any of us.
Can we please stop this nonsense? Go back to your lockdowns. Go back to your bottle of booze and leave me alone.
Yeah, we need to.
Thank you, Prue. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Richo.
Thanks, Smithy.
Hopefully we'll see you
guys.
next
Good night
week.
to all you foot fetishists out there.